right, so here we're looking at the different types of proteins and their functions. Um, we could maybe say this is the functional proteins. And we divide them up into four categories: transport proteins, receptors, enzymes, and cell adhesion molecules. And there's a cool little analogy that I found that will help explain what each of these are. All right, so think of the cell membrane again as this fortress, like a castle wall. All right, now the outer wall of the fortress is going to be uh, that cell membrane that's going to protect the cell while allowing certain substances to interact or proteins to interact with the environment. Okay, so now this is going to ensure that only specific substances are allowed into the cell or out of the cell. All right, so when we look at transport proteins, we can think of these in our cell wall, our castle, as gates and carriers. All right, so our ion channel is going to be like automated gates. All right, they're going to allow the small ions like sodium and potassium and calcium to come in and out freely whenever it's needed, as long as it follows the concentration gradients. All right, now carrier proteins, these are going to be specialized transporters. Okay, these are going to be like escorts. They're going to escort the larger or specific molecules like glucose or charged molecules, ones that aren't allowed to go through that membrane. All right, and by doing so, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to change their shape in order to bring those substances into the cell. All right, we also have receptors. Think of these as like messenger stations. All right, little messenger stations on the cell wall that they're going to receive signals, which are called ligands, all right, from the outside, and they're going to relay that information to the inside of the cell. All right, it's like little messengers. So we have some examples here: G protein coupled receptors. These are going to be receptors that activate basically internal signaling pathways whenever a ligand or that signal binds to that binding station. It's going to alert a bunch of different guards all along the fortress. So, it'll kind of trigger uh, this activated response where, if you think of, um, remember when you played telephone when you were younger, where you would whisper in somebody's ear and then that person would whisper in another person's ear? Think of it like that type of signaling. Now, we also have what are called tyrosine kinase receptors. These are going to be like these little multitasking guards. They'll receive the signal, but they're also going to initiate other specific actions like building a new pathway or activating different enzymes. So they have multiple jobs. They're going to be multitasking. All right, we also have enzymes. Now, these enzymes, they're going to be like little workers inside the castle. Enzymes are responsible for performing these critical tasks that would be similar to castle workers, just making sure that everything is operating smoothly. All right, one of the examples of enzymes that we have are adenylyl cyclase. All right, adenylyl cyclase is going to convert energy or ATP into what we call cyclic AMP. And that cyclic AMP is a molecule that will act as a little internal messenger that will coordinate different responses and activities inside that cell. And then finally, we have cell adhesion molecules. All right, these are like bridge builders. Think of them as engineers or bridge builders. All right, these engineers are going to construct different connections, bridges, and roads that connect neighboring cells. Okay, these structures are going to allow those cells to work together. They're going to form tissues and form organs. Another function that they have is that they can be like emergency responders. All right. They help during emergencies by directing specific immune cells to the different areas of the cell under attack to ensure that cell fortress and its neighbors are going to stay protected.